These black stones are ignored by everyone, but they're black diamonds worth more than gold. In its raw, natural state, a black diamond hides almost every clue to its value, looking dull, rough, and strangely ordinary to the passing eye. That is why so many people walk right over these stones or pick one up and feel unimpressed before tossing it straight back to the ground. It gets even more confusing because common rocks, other precious gems, and even plain glass are all mistaken for black diamonds every single day. Even better, some of those lookalikes are valuable gems in their own right and should never be tossed away as junk either. So today, you will learn to tell a valuable precious gem apart from common glass or worthless rock, and apart from a genuine black diamond. This is exactly the kind of knowledge that pays off out in the field, so subscribe to the channel and leave a like if this video helps you at all. The first thing you need to know is what actually turns a black diamond, since that single fact explains almost everything else about these stones. A normal diamond is pure carbon arranged in a flawless pattern, and when it is clean and clear, it lets light pass straight through with dazzling fire. A black diamond is still that same carbon, yet its inside is crowded with countless tiny dark specks that trap the light before it can shine back out. Those specks are microscopic inclusions of minerals like graphite, hematite, and magnetite, scattered so thickly that the whole crystal reads as black. This means the color comes from the trapped particles rather than the carbon, since that dense inner cloud soaks up the light and darkens the whole stone. Because those dark flaws sit packed all through the crystal, a black diamond turns opaque and heavy-looking, absorbing light where a clear one would blaze. The very same inclusions that give the stone its color also leave its surface pitted, fissured, and irregular. So a rough black diamond is genuinely an imperfect thing, marked by internal flaws and broken zones that are just part of its raw natural state. Those same rough qualities are exactly what make it so easy to overlook when it is lying loose in gravel or mixed into plain dark soil. Many diamonds are only partly black, where a pale crystal is peppered with dark specks you can plainly see inside. These salt and pepper stones sit on a sliding scale, running from lightly freckled all the way to so heavily crowded that the crystal reads as solid black. The dark color often follows tiny internal cracks, where carbon has slipped back into graphite and painted the fractures with a fine black film. This is why a natural black crystal diamond can be a little fragile, since all those fractures and flaws give it more weak points than a clean gem diamond. There is also a second and stranger kind of black diamond, one that behaves so differently that scientists still argue about where it came from. It is called carbonado, and instead of a single crystal, it is a tightly packed mass of millions of tiny diamond grains fused into one tough lump. Carbonado is porous and riddled with tiny holes, which makes it a little lighter than a normal diamond, yet remarkably resistant to cracking or chipping. Because its grains point in every direction at once, it has no clean planes to split along, so it survives rough handling that would shatter a gem diamond. Strangely, carbonado is only ever found loose in old surface gravels, and no one has traced it back to the deep volcanic rock that carries other diamonds. Some researchers even suspect it was born in space and delivered by an ancient impact, which is why it carries such an air of mystery among collectors. For a hunter on the ground, both of these kinds share that same dark, dull, and unpromising look that quietly hides serious value inside. A single cut carbonado has sold for millions of dollars in recent years, which tells you the raw material is far from the worthless rock it resembles. The porous carbonado also grips its grains so tightly that it became a prized industrial tool long before anyone ever thought to cut it as a gem. For generations, miners in Brazil sold carbonado to drillers and stonecutters, who set its incredibly tough surface into bits that could grind through rock. Like other diamonds, the crystal form of black diamond is born deep under the crust, where enormous heat and pressure squeeze carbon into solid stone. Rare and violent volcanic eruptions then carry these crystals upward in a rush, freezing their flaws and inclusions in place as they cool near the top. Once at the surface, weather and rivers slowly wear away the softer host rock, freeing the tough diamonds and scattering them across gravels and beds. That heaviness and hardness let them survive the long tumble downstream, so they collect in the same low spots where other heavy minerals settle out. It is worth being honest about value here, since a natural black diamond usually sells for far less than a flawless white one of the very same size. Much of the black diamond you see in cheap jewelry is really pale, flawed material that was darkened in a lab with heat or radiation to fake the color. Even so, a true, natural black stone of good size is a rare find, and by simple weight, it can still be worth more than the same mass of pure gold. It helps to remember that color and value do not always move together, because a jet black stone can still hide flaws that a buyer will weigh carefully. Collectors prize an even, deep, and consistent black most of all, so a stone with a steady, dark tone throughout tends to draw a stronger price than a patchy one. So where on earth do these strange black stones actually turn up in the wild? And is there any real chance that such ground lies near you? The honest answer is that they are genuinely rare, and only a handful of places on the whole planet have ever produced them in any real numbers. The most famous source is the state of Bahia in Brazil, where carbonado has been pulled from old riverbed gravels for well over a century. Another major source sits in the Central African Republic, whose alluvial diggings have yielded some of the finest black diamond material ever known. Far to the north, remote parts of the Kamchatka region in Russia have also given up black diamonds, adding one more piece to the puzzle of their origin. What ties these places together is running water, since every one of them concentrated the stones in loose surface gravel rather than in solid bedrock. To picture how they arrive in a stream bed, remember that diamond is both very hard and quite heavy, a rare pairing that lets it outlast almost everything. As mountains erode over ages, softer minerals crumble to dust and wash away, while the tough diamond just tumbles along and survives nearly whole. Mile after mile it rides the current, until it drops into a quiet pocket where the water can no longer carry its weight, and there it waits to be found. That pattern gives you your first practical clue, because black diamonds gather where heavy material collects, in the beds and bends of ancient streams. You look for them in the same traps that catch gold, hunting cracks in bedrock and the packed gravel that gathers at the bottom of a channel. In those spots, the current slows, the heavy grains drop, and dense survivors like diamonds settle low while lighter sand and mud wash on downstream. Those quiet pockets are the places to search, from the inside of a river bend to the space behind a large rock and the packed layer over bedrock. When you dig down to that bedrock layer and scrape the cracks clean, you reach the natural trap where the heaviest and most valuable grains have gathered. This is also why patient panning and screening of gravel can reveal them, since the same weight that hides them is the very thing that concentrates them. There is one spot in the United States where the public can legally hunt real diamonds, a worn volcanic field in Arkansas set aside as a state park. Visitors there search the plowed soil and now and then find genuine diamonds, most of them small and colored white, yellow, or warm brown. The gravels near you may hold gold, garnet, or agate, yet the odds of a real black diamond turning up outside those rare belts stay extremely low. In practice, the dark stone you actually pick up is almost always one of the many convincing fakes rather than a real black diamond. Knowing the real geology means you neither ignore a genuine treasure nor waste months chasing a diamond in ground that never held one. Everywhere else, treat a supposed black diamond with friendly suspicion and lean on solid field tests rather than hope to settle the question for good. If you want to go much deeper than any single video can take you, there's a simple way to keep sharpening these skills right alongside me. By joining the members area of this channel, you unlock closer guidance and hands-on breakdowns that train your eye for stones exactly like these. If you have not yet, tap subscribe as well, so the next lessons on reading gemstones in the wild reach you the very moment they go live. The black stone you find will almost certainly be one of a small crew of common imposters, and each one gives itself away once you know its tells. A real diamond is so extreme in a few key traits that a handful of simple tests can separate it from every pretender you are likely to meet. The single most powerful trait is hardness, because diamond sits at a perfect 10 on the mineral scale and nothing natural can scratch its surface. A rough diamond will scratch glass, quartz, and even sapphire with ease, while those same materials leave its own surface completely untouched. So a careful scratch test against a hard reference done on a rough edge and never on a clean face quickly rules out most of the softer fakes. Luster is your second big clue, since diamond shows a bright, almost oily shine called adamantine that stands apart from ordinary glassy stones. Weight is a third clue, because diamond is dense and feels heavier in the hand than its size suggests, though a few imposters are heavier still. The most common imposter by far is black tourmaline, a hard, dark crystal known as schorl that turns up in countless rocky and sandy places worldwide. You can catch it by the long, straight grooves that run down the length of the crystal, fine parallel lines that a real diamond simply never shows. Tourmaline is fairly hard at about 7 on the scale, yet a true diamond will still scratch it, and its shine is glassy rather than bright and oily. Hold it to a strong light and study the thin edges, since tourmaline often lets a faint glow slip through where a dense diamond stays dead black. Next comes obsidian, a natural volcanic glass that forms when lava cools so fast that no crystals ever get the chance to grow inside it. Obsidian is soft for a gem at around 5, so glass and steel mark it easily, while it never scratches a hard reference the way a diamond does. Its giveaway is the smooth, curved break, like the inside of a shell, along with a glassy mirror shine and faint see-through edges under bright light. It also feels light in the hand, and many pieces show tiny frozen bubbles or gentle flow lines left behind as the hot lava chilled quickly into glass. Hematite is trickier because this iron oxide is genuinely heavy and often wears a bright metallic shine that can catch a hopeful eye at first glance. The quickest tell is its streak, since dragging hematite across rough, unglazed tile leaves a clear red-brown mark that no diamond will ever produce. It is also far softer than diamond and gives off that heavy, almost iron-like feel, and in some pieces, a magnet will even tug at it faintly. Closely related is magnetite, another dark iron mineral whose single loudest signal is that a plain magnet grabs it strongly and unmistakably. Since diamond ignores a magnet entirely, any black stone that jumps toward one can be set aside as iron-rich rather than a precious carbon crystal. Black spinel is a sneakier rival, a real gemstone with a bright glassy sparkle and a solid hardness of about 8 that resists most scratch tests. It often grows as neat little 8-sided crystals, and it carries no magnetism, so shape and a hardness check help set it apart from a rough diamond. Even so, a true diamond still out-scratches spinel, and diamond keeps that oily luster, while spinel leans toward a cleaner and more window-like shine. Black sapphire is a very dark form of corundum that is harder yet at 9, so it shrugs off quartz and glass and can briefly look convincing. The deciding move is the direct scratch, because only diamond at 10 can mark sapphire, while sapphire can never return the favor on a true diamond. Black onyx rounds out the crowd, though it is usually just dyed banded quartz that is softer, lighter, and far more even in color than a real diamond. Its calm, uniform black and its plain quartz hardness give it away quickly, especially once a diamond edge scratches it without any effort at all. Black zircon can also masquerade as a diamond, a heavy crystal with a fairly bright shine that has fooled buyers for as long as gems have been traded. Zircon is softer than diamond and often shows worn or chipped edges, and a firm scratch test against a hard reference quickly settles which is which. Dark garnet is another look-alike, especially the deep near black variety, though it stays softer than diamond and lacks that intense oily surface glow. You should also watch for man-made black glass and furnace slag, cheap materials that are sometimes passed off as natural stones to trusting beginners. Glass is soft and often carries rounded bubbles frozen inside it, so a scratch test plus a quick look for those bubbles exposes it almost at once. There is one more clue hiding in the very same gravels that can quietly tell you that diamonds may have passed through this ground long ago. Scattered among the pebbles, you will often find small, deep red garnets, a heavy stone that forms in the same deep zones as diamond itself. Prospectors treasure these little red grains as an indicator mineral, since where they gather, diamond-bearing rock is often somewhere close behind. So a handful of bright garnets in your pan is more than just a pretty find, because it can mark you as standing on genuine diamond country. Learning to read those companion stones turns a random search into a guided one, pointing your effort toward the ground most likely to reward it. If you want every one of these stones and signs in one clear place, that is exactly why I put together the ebook called Gemology Journey for Beginners. Inside, you get simple field tests, side-by-side comparisons, and plain photos that let you name what you are holding without any costly equipment. It gathers years of this channel into one practical guide, so you can walk out the door already knowing how to separate a treasure from a lookalike. You can grab your copy through the link down in the description whenever you feel ready to take your gem hunting a real and serious step further. And if now is not the moment for that, there is no problem at all, because you can keep learning here with everything shared on this channel for free. Just subscribe and watch the next video already waiting on your screen, where we uncover even more hidden gems that most people walk right past. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Good luck, Gem Hunter!